So the YouTuber Turkey Tom recently uploaded a video called YouTube Sponsors, and this is how it starts out.
Hello, and shalom, my brothers, and welcome to a very special episode of the Tigger Tom Show. Today, I have a very special presentation for all of you. A story, really. One of gaming, shaving, dangerous people pushing dangerous narratives, and my personal favorite pastime, being a merchant, an accumulator of wealth to hide away from my fellow man, and look down upon the writhing masses in shame. Shame and pity.
Okay, drop him. He's a racist and an anti-Semite.
Oh, look, it's my favorite developer, Plarium.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
Why are we still here? Just to suffer? Every night, I can feel my leg.
Another popular YouTuber who goes by the name D'Angelo Wallace didn't like this video too much and decided to take to Twitter to express his opinions. He tweets out, So, the YouTuber Turkey Tom threw a bunch of anti-Semitic imagery in his latest video, and it resulted in the comment section full of anti-Semitism. Wow. If you have to rely on racism for YouTube engagement, A, accept your content as shit, and B, go fuck yourself. He then shows an image of these anti-Semitic comments. The first one says, Damn, Tom is becoming super red-pilled and epic. Sebastian says, The eternal Jews strike again. Everaudo says, Ethan Klein and his Israeli wife make a lot of money and comprises their ideals for more money and lie about, I wonder what those two have in common. How Do Login says, I wonder why H3 started spewing the same mainstream media talking points. Spanky Pants says, Tom is more blatantly anti-Semitic than usual, and I'm loving it. Slazers says, looks like Tom here finally took the red pill on. Our merchant friends. This tweet blew up and a lot of people had a lot of different responses to it. Simeon Jimmy says, I can't believe such a hateful person is allowed on this platform. Hashtag not all turkeys. Q-Star says, the turkey hunt is starting early this year. Kaiga says, oh no, a joke! Help! To which V the B responds, ironic bigotry is still bigotry. Pinely says, I don't know man, I'm Jewish and I didn't think his joke was really anti-Semitic, but I do agree that these kind of jokes do pander to that crowd. Nintendo Babe then responds, I don't know man, either he's a racist or he's totally okay with pandering to racists. How much of a difference is there? Insight then says, he's neither, it's a joke, grow a pair. To which Nintendo Babe responds, I thought jokes had to be, funny? Pixion then says, humor is subjective, come on. Do we really have to say this? That stuff is dark humor. Some people find it funny, and some people find it offensive. The offended people shouldn't act as if it was offensive as a fact, because it's just their personal opinion. Nintendo Babe then says, you're right, my mistake. Some racists do find that funny. Mika then responds, I found it funny. I'm Jewish. I guess I'm just a racist pig, huh? Speaking for a lot of Jewish people I know, we know how to take a joke, buddy. Get off your high horse. I don't need you to tell me how to feel. Bruh Federation responds to all of this by saying, believing the phrase super red-pilled and epic is an unironic phrase. And then Turkey Tom, who has the Twitter ad zapped eye because he got previously suspended and needed a new Twitter ad, he says, go away you dishonest hack. Debug responds to Angelo by saying, is he not allowed to make jokes? To which D'Angelo responds, are you allowed to spell properly? Though that's pretty much the level of communication I'd expect from someone who thinks Jews bad lol is a joke. Turkey Tom then responds to this by saying, I didn't make a joke even close to that, homie. Then he quote tweets this and says, you gotta love how your best defense for someone criticizing you is, haha, you spell word wrong, dummy. And I didn't make a joke even remotely close to that, big guy. Stop lying. Huckle Peel responds to Tom by saying, I want to give you the benefit of the doubt on this, but I'm honestly asking, what was that random shot at Israel and the USS Liberty event? On its own, that's like fine, but then you had to add Nick Fuentes and Ben with a huge dollar bill. You get why that raises some eyebrows? If it's not clear, I'm not calling you anti-Semitic, but I do think you were memeing a little too close to the sun. Otherwise, it was a great video. Turkey Tom then responds, I get what you're saying, man, but I definitely didn't do anything anti-Semitic, and I'm not whatever this guy is trying to imply that I am. He then responds directly to the initial tweet and says, I'm not an anti-Semite, and there was no anti-Semitic imagery in my video. Simeon Jimmy then responds, quiet you literal Nazi. Drillotate says, your whole joke was, H3 are Jewish, haha, Israel sank US Navy ship. Get it? Ethan is Jewish, and so is Israel, ha 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 ha. Not a knee slapper, not gonna lie. Tom then quote tweets this and says, nice lie man. I didn't even mention Ethan being Jewish in the video, and I had a 20-second bit about the USS Liberty in a completely different part of the video, where I said nothing about Judaism. These people literally have to lie to get their point across. D'Angelo then responds to Tom by saying, "Look, I get that you're either an idiot or pretending to be one, but your comment section is filling up with anti-Semitism for a reason. If that's the crowd you want to associate with, go for it. But just keep in mind that sane people have a zero tolerance policy for your bullshit." No Fuckers then responds, "Wouldn't say his joke is anti-Semitic because it was criticizing Israel's government, but it was definitely out of fucking left field in a video about YouTube sponsorship. Like, it's absolutely irrelevant if the developers are Israeli, lol. Weird he would include it." Kale then responds, "Google USS Liberty," and then No Fuckers responds, "Yes. Anytime anyone mentions Israel in a video that does not involve politics, he has to point out their war crimes. I personally talk about 9/11 being an inside job and war crimes in Iraq anytime I mention the US in a video about YouTube sponsorship." Nicholas DiOrio reacts to this whole thing by saying, Turkey Tom getting shit for something he literally didn't say in a video is ridiculous." Then I decide to comment on the situation by saying, "Damn, I thought you were pretty cool, but now you're lying about what Turkey Tom said in his video, and falsely accusing him of promoting bigotry. That's pretty fucked up." Now, normally I don't cover my tweets on these Twitterverse videos, but the reason I brought up mine in particular is because a couple days later I found out that D'Angelo actually responded to me, but not on Twitter, in his YouTube community tab. He screenshots my tweet and then says, "Currently getting cancelled on Twitter. Be sure to follow me," laughing my ass off. To which I respond, "I'm not trying to cancel you, lol. I just didn't see any anti-Semitic things in Tom's video. Also, I don't know him well. I talked to him like 3 times over the past year." So yeah, to further elaborate, I wasn't trying to cancel this guy, I just saw that he was lying about Turkey Tom's video and decided to call it out. It's as simple as that, but apparently that means he's getting cancelled. Either way, some comments are made on this community post with D'Angelo responding, so thought I might as well read these out as well, since they are pretty relevant to the situation. Maddle Whatever says, "Can someone fill me in? In reply to your comment, that makes sense. He seems pretty insensitive to subjects, and has been called out in the past for doing shit that shouldn't fly under the guise of edgy jokes." D'Angelo then responds, "Here's how it went. Keep in mind that I'm telling this story in bias to myself, because I personally believe I'm right, but basically I clicked onto Turkey Tom's latest video. The video had a bunch of jokes about Israeli and Jewish people and money, and there were a bunch of comments in the section from red-pilled and based people literally congratulating him on his anti-Semitism. So I screenshotted them, compiled them, and posted them calling him out for pandering to anti-Semites for more engagement. To which he replied, "I'm not an anti-Semite and I never posted anti-Semitic imagery." And then Nicholas DiOrio, Mumkey Jones, who is Simeon Jimmy, and a couple other people I've watched, chimed in pretty much dismissing the content as just jokes. And now what? I stand by what I said. If you pander to that edgy hee Jews bad crowd with your comedy, then that's what you're going to get in your comment section. But watch the video. Read the comment section, and read the tweets yourself if you care. You might come up with a totally different understanding, and that's quite alright with me. At the end of the day, I don't have blatant racism in my comment section right now, and he does, so I just feel like I'm in the right by default, lol. Jarmo says, "I don't believe that Turkey Tom is anti-Semitic. He made some jokes in that video that were edgy, but I really think the problem here is with shitty people in the comment section. He shouldn't pander to those kind of people." D'Angelo then responds, "This is my exact opinion as well." Now after this community post, everything really settled down for about a day. But the next day on American Thanksgiving, D'Angelo decided to drum up some more drama and posted this onto his timeline. "Happy Thanksgiving, we're eating Turkey Tom." He thought we wouldn't be able to see his racism through the thin veil of comedy. Meanwhile, he's doing this in everyday conversation. So allow me to repeat myself from yesterday when you tried to gaslight me. Go fuck yourself. He then posts a screenshot of Turkey Tom saying this in private messages. "My new name is going to be N-word, I hate N-words. Ah well, eventually I'll call someone an N-word too many times or I'll bully someone enough. I doubt you'll hate me. N-words. Don't talk. They just say, chicken in when. Don't pretend like it's something for your fans, lol. It's just a tip jar for Jews with deep pockets." D'Angelo then continues the tweet thread by saying, "Your friend group is fucked. You are not as smart as you think, and weaponized memes aren't as clever as you think. Maybe find some new material for your next video script. Sincerely, the F-G." He then shows a Discord screenshot where someone called Anarchist Pineapple says, "Weaponized memes can work wonders." Then someone with a Pepe icon responds, "True. I don't know what to make though. I have no information on the fag." Anarchist Pineapple then responds, His name is D'Angelo Wallace. During this time, D'Angelo also posted this onto his YouTube community tab and captions it by saying, "Update from my Twitter beef yesterday. The guy turned out to be a racist. Turkey Tom, wanna explain any of this? Probably not. Anyway, happy Thanksgiving. I guess you could say my Thanksgiving dinner was Turkey Tom." Skip Squelch responds, "By the way, D'Angelo, how did this go down?" D'Angelo then responds, "He put racist stuff in his last YouTube video. I called him out on Twitter for pandering to racists. He said, I'm not racist. I never said anything racist. Apparently the video stuff was a joke. I looked pretty dumb. Within 24 hours, evidence came into my DMs of him being blatantly racist. Apparently hiding your racism through memes doesn't work. Now he looks pretty dumb." Aika says, "This is sad. If you're gonna make racist jokes, at least make them funny." D'Angelo then responds, "My thoughts exactly." Wait, Aiden Project's response to all this by saying, "Tom has repeatedly acknowledged that he's made mistakes in the past. He's 15 for fuck's sake. He is actively growing and maturing, and I get that the messages are messed up, but he's apologized for them, and they are pretty old. I don't know what you were trying to prove." Kid Ace then responds, laughing my ass off, "There's a certain age where you can easily differentiate right from wrong, and you don't have to be a fully matured adult to realize that you shouldn't say stuff like this." Aiden then responds, "You can differentiate right from wrong, but people's categorizations of what right is and what wrong is varies by age and experience. Interpretation is a thing." Kid Ace then responds, "That's true, you can interpret things differently, but it just doesn't make sense why anyone would say this. It's just my opinion though." Aiden then responds, "I see where you were coming from, but I also understand shock humor and provocative humor. Some people genuinely find the most messed up shit funny." Simeon Jimmy responds, "This guy's gonna shit himself when he finds out about Keemstar." Mia says, "D'Angelo is coming for these drama channels' job, and I'm here for it." Augie RFC responds to all of this by saying, "Oh my god, these messages are so scary, bro. Whoa." He then responds to the second part of D'Angelo's tweet and says, "Ha ha 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 ha. Imagine unironically being this guy. Oh, the green frogs are after me. Crying because they called you a fag on the internet. Grow up. I think I was right about you on my podcast. You are talentless. Imagine attacking a kid on Thanksgiving. Spend some time with the family." Average Gamer then responds to Augie by saying, "Not really seeing what's funny about this. Bunch of people saying they hate N-words isn't funny, isn't a meme, isn't comedy. It's just racist." Then the follow-up, they called him a f-g, again, not in a comedic way, not as a joke, as an insult? What am I missing? Augie then responds, "It doesn't have to be funny to you. That's subjective. These hacks are crying racism and anti-Semitism, as if kids aren't edgy all the time. This is normal, but they build it up to make it look scary. It's sick." TooMadXO, who is a fan account, not the actual YouTuber Toomad, responds to Augie by saying, "I hate N-words is normal for kids? I understand you pulled they're being edgy excuse, but sometimes there's a point where you have to understand that if you keep saying they're edgy, people are just gonna say bigger, get called out for it, and say it was edgy and a joke." Augie then responds, "Every person I know says edgy things behind the scenes. Some more intense than others, of course. But yeah, generally it is normal for kids, especially in this day and age. It's not that big of a deal." Nick responds to this by saying, "It is normal for kids to be immature and edgy? Yikes. Yeah, it literally is. Is it normal for grown adults to police a child in his spare time away from the public? Nah." Nick then responds to the tweet itself and says, 2019's Tariq Nasheed. Tipster decides to give his opinion on the situation by saying, "Hot take, but here goes. My thoughts on the Turkey Tom situation."
Alright guys, so I'm in my car right now, just taking a quick vape break. And I see all this shit going on social media about Turkey Tom being an anti-Semite and a racist, this D'Angelo, whatever the fuck his name is, dude, going at him. And I think this shit is just, like, really fucking ridiculous. I don't understand how people can't comprehend this fact that saying jokes about race and stuff like that doesn't automatically make you racist. First of all, I seen the video in question that this D'Angelo dude is talking about. I didn't see anything anti-Semitic in that video. Simply referencing Jews or, criticizing a Jew doesn't make it anti-Semitic or anything like that. So that in itself is ridiculous. But he recently dug up some old DMs that are like a year old of Turkey Tom saying some really edgy stuff. And while it's definitely stuff I wouldn't say or whatever, let's be honest, we've all said really edgy shit when we were young. I mean, Turkey Tom is still a teenager, right? He's not even 18 years old or whatever, okay? And yeah, he's going to say edgy shit as a teenager. We've all done it. We can pretend like we haven't done it, and we can act like we're all fucking saints, and we've never said anything inappropriate or offensive ever. But we all know that's bullshit. All of us, as teenagers, have said really fucked up shit. I just have a real problem with someone going after someone that's a teenager. We know how this SJW culture works. They get their hands on this kind of information, and it doesn't matter if you're a kid or an adult or it's something you said in the past. None of that shit matters. They go after these people relentlessly to ruin their reputation and their lives in ways that are completely irreparable. So my thoughts on this D'Angelo fuckhead is, how does it feel to be a complete and utter fuckhead who's literally going after a teenager and potentially ruining his life and reputation before he even has a chance to live out his life, to grow up and, achieve things in life and all that stuff? You're literally going to ruin this kid's life over stuff he said as an edgy teenager. Are you kidding, bro? That makes you the asshole, not him.
Turkey Tom himself responds to this tweet by saying, "Damn bro, DM messages that are a year old? Very classy. I'm edgy, probably too edgy, but I'm not racist. Lol." Len then responds, this isn't like 7 years ago, man. People don't change that quickly, so yeah, get fucked. Turkey Tom then responds, "Saying the N-word does not make you racist." Turkey Tom responds to D'Angelo's second tweet by saying, "These are some randos in my Discord server. They don't even have roles. You are lying. I don't know what the weaponized memes thing is supposed to mean in this situation." Rusty responds to this by saying, "Don't be fooled. Turkey Tom is not racist or an anti-Semite. The crowd that supports this merciless slander are the same people that would cancel folks like PewDiePie if they could. Instead, they're targeting small channels like Tom for simply using dark humor in his videos." D'Angelo then quote tweets Tom's response and says, "His response, if y'all cared." Horse Girl responds, "Cancel culture has entered the chat." To which D'Angelo responds, "You don't understand. People can change in less than a year. At least he didn't bother giving us a fake apology. He just went the no apology, I don't care route. A real innovator." Alexa then responds, "It's cause he's classier than you. Sorry God, no one beats Turkey Tom on Thanksgiving." Apercat responds, "Why are you so obsessed with Tom, lol?" D'Angelo then responds, "How am I obsessed? Over the past 48 hours I have a few tweets about him, 2 of which were replying to him, a couple, 2 community posts about him, his poster in my room hanging over my bed. Learn the definition of obsession." Nicholas Diorio reacts to all of this by saying, "Imagine if D'Angelo Wallace had a family or something to do on this Thanksgiving, instead of hunt imaginary white nationalists and have his followers harass a minor and a dude with autism. What a grade A scumbag. Happy Thanksgiving. I just unpinned this, and y'all can shove it up your ass. You are just as much of a degenerate as Alex." Showing that he has unpinned D'Angelo Wallace's comment on Nick Diorio's video criticizing I'm Alex for the Slazo situation. Nick follows this up by saying, "For every JF, there is a David Sherratt. For every Richard Spencer, there is a D'Angelo Wallace." D. Bellamy responds, "Oh my god, Nick, unpinned his comment? How will he live with himself?" Nicholas Diorio then responds, "I'll spell it out for the intellectuals in the crowd. I'm not supporting a degenerate, and he can take his support from me and shove it." D'Angelo quote tweets Nicholas Diorio and says, "You unpinned my comment from your YouTube video on your 16k sub channel? Ow." Turkey Tom responds to D'Angelo by saying, "The point is that you're the same fucking scum that you accused I'm Alex of being. Someone that clearly knew and trusted in confidence sent you those screenshots. Instead of DMing me and asking me if I was some sort of racist, they sent it to you. The truth is, you have no real integrity over this. It's no secret that I'm edgy on the internet, or that I say shit ironically all the time. I was literally suspended on Twitter for saying something about women. You don't give a fuck about integrity. You don't care about racism. This is about you outing the big bad racist Nazi Turkey Tom, and collecting your fucking Twitter likes off of it. You know what? Fuck you. I'm not playing your little fucking game where I apologize for being an awful racist guy. I appreciate the phone calls to my house, guys. Really cool of you. D'Angelo doesn't decide to respond to Turkey Tom, but responds to a couple other people who commented on his tweet, the first of which being Mandrill, who says, "How is that a problem?" To which D'Angelo says, "I don't know, but suddenly my social blade is in the red. This is crazy." Mari says, "Calling out racism equals accusing someone of rape." D'Angelo then replies, "He also compared me to Richard Spencer in a different tweet, showing that Richard Spencer is an American neo-Nazi and white supremacist." Nick responds to D'Angelo's tweet to him by saying, "You bullied a child on Thanksgiving with tweets from when he was 15? From your degenerate Twitter? Play with me, A&G. You're gonna lose hard." This is also completely not the context of the tweet you're referencing at all, laughing my ass off. In fact, it's the polar opposite. That's fine though, dude. Send your audience, tell them I said stuff I didn't, have them flag my Twitter down like you're clearly trying to do with Tom. You're writing the script of videos to come as you type on your keyboard, which is what everyone does when they tweet on Twitter for me, so thank you guys so much for that. Anyways, D'Angelo then tweets, "Never have I ever had a video script write itself before." Nick then replies, "Well, you're writing mine," to which a different Nick responds with, "Can you explain to me why Turkey Tom isn't wrong?" Diorio then responds, "If you're gonna accuse a 15-year-old of being racist and hating an entire race of people, you need to bring a bit more to the table than Discord messages from a year ago. The onus of proof lies on the accuser, and all you've given me is edgy joke." The other Nick then responds, "Edgy racist jokes are still racist. Like, do you not understand that? If you say you hate N-words and bash a certain race constantly in a video, what do you expect? Like, I don't know why you think white people can still do all this despite racism still being an issue. Here's the issue. He's white, male, straight, right? He's got all the privilege in society to pretty much do whatever he wants. Instead, he uses that privilege to make fun of other races and hides behind the 'I'm edgy' facade. That's a problem." Diorio then responds with, "You lost me at he's white, male, straight." The other Nick then replies with, "You don't want to speak about it because you're uncomfortable dealing with the fact that others with the same advantage of you have done terrible things. Not everyone who's privileged is bad." Diorio then responds, "I'm not speaking on it because you know nothing about me. My family, Tom, his family, where any of us grew up, who we speak to, who we fight with, what we think, and what our viewpoints are. You think you got all of that from a few Discord messages, and then you lectured me. On privilege? You can clearly read mind and have x-ray vision. Don't lecture me on my privilege. You're a superhero." John Swan then responds to D'Angelo's tweet about Turkey Tom saying the N-word with the caption, "I wonder why he deleted this tweet. Maybe because he's a giant hypocrite who blindly believes screenshots and word of mouth just because he doesn't like people." He then shows a screenshot of a deleted tweet D'Angelo made back in October that says, "Really now, don't get me wrong, the Ace family is trash for many reasons, but those reasons are all proven, whereas nothing in that rape allegation was so far. It's 2019. Thought we were done blindly believing screenshots and word of mouth just because we don't like people. How could you learn nothing from the James Charles situation, the Slazo situation, and the Pro Jared situation, to name a few? Just because people do bad things does not mean everything they are accused of is true. Canceling people with no evidence is getting old at this point." SM Creepshow then responds, "How is this hypocritical in terms of what's going on now? He's not defending false rape allegations? I need someone to explain this, cause my tiny brain is lost." John Swan then responds, "Hypocritical because he's making assumptions saying that someone is a racist based on screenshots." Screenshots! He cannot ascertain anyone's political views based on screenshots. There's a difference between edgy jokes and actual racism. Creepshow then responds, "It's a hotly contested topic though. For every person who says edgy humor is fine and takes away the power of those words, there is another person saying the opposite. So while you say, yeah, it's just edgy humor and it's fine, someone else can think the opposite, and they are. Full on, full out entitled to their opinion, especially when that person is now being called the slur. We aren't going to operate on the table of, it's totally okay, when we are fully aware that it's a hot button topic that people with a lot more influence than us dealt with. D'Angelo saw what he saw. It was verified as being real, and he finds that to be racist. If you disagree because in your mind saying those things aren't racist, communicate that better. Don't pretend like what he's doing is hypocritical because of something that isn't relevant." D'Angelo himself then responds to John Swan's tweet by saying, "I delete all of my tweets periodically. Check my social blade. I verified with people that know Turkey Tom that the tweets were real. But I mean, Turkey Tom himself confirmed that they are. So don't take my word for it. You guys are literally, it heard itself in confusion right now." John Swan then responds, "I delete all my tweets periodically. Your tweet was from October. You deleted your tweet history in September. The point is that you blindly believed someone was racist based on a few screenshots from when someone was 15. Fuck off. D'Angelo then replies, okay, well, I guess I should have checked my own social blade, laughing my ass off. That being said, if you knew who I was, you would know I don't blindly believe screenshots. If you knew who I was, you wouldn't have inserted yourself into this conversation, but you'll figure out why on Sunday. He then follows us up by saying, last tweet about Sunday's video, so I stopped blowing up your phone. I'm about to go on my YouTube channel and bully some children. Hit the bell, XD. John Swan then follows up his set of responses by saying, the same people who think Turkey Tom is a racist Nazi based from screenshots are the same people who think PewDiePie is a racist Nazi based from a stream. You are scum of the earth. Willie Maxwell responded to D'Angelo by saying, bro is trying to be a hero while not realizing he's a straight villain. Where's the common sense, dog? To which Simeon Jimmy responds, one day these people will learn that nobody likes or respects cancel culture trained conductors. Then Jimmy makes a tweet of his own that says, so what do you do in your spare time? Oh, I go on the internet and try to hashtag cancel people who are far more successful and talented than I'll ever be because it's the only way I can get attention. Wow, you sound like a sane and likable person who definitely doesn't need therapy. And believe it or not, that is not the end of these tweets. But since D'Angelo is coming out with a video on Sunday on Turkey Tom, I thought I would hold off on the rest of the tweets until that video comes out so I can make a more complete follow-up part 2 to this video. So if you don't want to miss that, be sure to subscribe with notifications on. Also follow me on Twitter if you want to see any of the developments of the story unfold in real time. Thank you so much to my channel members for supporting the channel, and with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and don't put anti-Semitic comments in the comment section.